Hey everybody, Boris Schlossberg from BK Forex. Welcome to our daily Forex Daily Technicals, stalling out near the highs at 131.13. As always, past performance not indicative of future results. Trading Forex carries high level risk, may not be suitable for all investors, and a high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before you decide to trade any such leverage products, you should really carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. Possibility exists that you can sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money you cannot afford to lose. Should be aware of all the risks associated with trading on margin and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. The information, including commentary trade ideas provided by VKForce.com, should not be relied upon as substitute for extensive independent research. We should be informed before making investment decisions. The information and opinions presented here do not take into account any particular individual investment objectives and needs, and all investors should obtain advice based on their unique situation before making any investment decision. We're not responsible for any loss incurred in investments made by readers and clients as a result of this information, and we do not render investment, legal, tax, or other professional advice, and if such advice is needed, you should seek services of a competent professional. So what's happening in the market today is kind of a typical post bust out stall. Obviously, Euro took out the 35s yesterday, had a big power move, but stalled out ahead of the 36. Possibly because there's a little bit of optionality, obviously, in the 36, but also just because this kind of a power move really needs to have a little bit of digestion and consolidation before we can possibly push higher. For now, this is the 4-hour chart. For now, you can see that the most immediate support, of course, is 35.50, which seems to be holding more or less. A break here obviously takes us to 35, which is the critical key support level psychologically, out of which we broke out. And then right below that is the 34.80 support from which was the original push that we saw several days ago. Generally, so far the consolidation doesn't look relatively corrective because we haven't any sharp sell-offs. Data has not been very supportive. German retail sales came out today much weaker than expected. We do have German unemployment coming out a little bit, and that may possibly push us one way or the other. But for now, the critical trades to the upside is the 35.88 highs. Those need to get taken out for around the 36, and obviously to the downside, any move below 35.50 opens up towards 35, and 35, of course, is the critical support level out of which we're holding right now. So not much in a way of directionality of euro, but we clearly are seriously oversold here. And the question is, with the consolidation that you can see here, is it going to happen on a sharp draft to the downside, or simply we're just going to basically base? The baseline scenario obviously remains more positive and constructive for a longer term trend. So we'll have to see how that goes. On the other hand, yen has a lot of optionality in front of it. There was rumors that there was about 5 billion, about 5 yards worth of option expiration at around 91.50. There's I think about 2 billion somewhere around 9100, and is furthermore for 90.50. For now, given the fact that the yen has had a big run, it still remains relatively well bid. There's quite a lot of bids still ahead of 90.50, but 90.50 is really the big key level. 90.50 goes, it basically creates a sort of a more or less a double top formation here, and very much opens up a way for a test of 90. That would be the typical distribution gap. On the other hand, the upside really doesn't come into play until you can take out the highs at 91.40, and because 91.50 is such a big option barrier, especially until 10 o'clock today, that may be very hard going. We'll have to see how the yen trades. For now, very indeterminate. We're basically trading either side of 9100, as that's the equilibrium level. But it's the 9140 to the upside, 9050 to the downside that become the critical levels that could give us some directional clues going forward. Aussie got clobbered a little bit on an S&P report today. Its recovery to 104.50 really got badly destroyed yesterday, and then there was a big sell-off today below the 104s. But if you look at this carefully, sort of right now, 103.80 is a double bottom support if it holds. So again, the critical thing with the Aussie for the rest of the day is it holds above 103.80s. If we consolidate, we could possibly see another run back up to 104.50. On the other hand, that takeout of 103.80s opens up a way to 103.50 as that double bottom pretty much fails. And cable continues to look much more constructive after so many days of very negative sell-off. We noted yesterday that below the 5700 was a bottom. There was a big recovery. The critical thing that was kind of interesting in the cable yesterday is that we covered the gap here at 5800 and now are pretty much holding out. Part of the reasons for cable straight this morning is the euro pound flows Euro pound obviously had this massive move up to 8,600, and now it's starting to sell off. There could be some end of the month flows, corporate flows on the euro pound to the downside. You know, if you have such a huge move in the euro pound cross, a lot of corporates are going to want to book that rate one way or the other as the end of the month comes in. So there may be more selling pressure on the euro through the euro pound, and that could help um, cable as we go forward. Cable looks relatively constructive here, still holding above the 58. A give back below the 58, and really a give back below sort of the 57.80 puts us right back to 57.50 as a corrective measure. So we have to be careful here. On the other hand, a retake of the 58.25, around 25 or 30 right over here, if we can clear all of these highs and hold them, that's the critical thing, hold them, it really opens a way towards a 58.50 and possibly even a retrace all the way to 5900. That would make a very strong V-shaped bottom in cable. So cable of all of the majors looks relatively constructive as we start the day. Not much going on in the crosses aside from the euro pound. It's the end of the month, so there could be some end of the month corporate settlement flows, which could really skew things around. Otherwise, it's a relatively quiet day. Wish you guys the best of luck and the best of trading. This is Boris Schlossberg over and out.